Hello, welcome to my new channel. I decided to get a new channel because my old one had my real name, and I'm a teacher at a secondary school, and my pupils found me on YouTube and they started commenting on my videos, and I didn't really like that. So this is my book. I had a flip through at my previous channel, but I have some pages added and I wanted to show you. I still haven't got round to making a title page. This is one of the old pages. It's in a pencil and a fountain pen. This is also old. This is messed up because my cat came in from the rain and she sat on it. And at first I was really bothered by it, but now I think it adds character. I like experimenting with different fonts. I've got several favorites. This one. This is pencil. I can only draw if I have an example. And these come from Celtic colouring books. And this is watercolour. I think I'm going to keep using watercolour because the coloured pencils takes up a lot of time, and this is, for me, this is easier. 13 Goals of a Witch, also an old page, but it wasn't coloured in. This is new, the definition of Cohen, and or Cohen. This is some gold marker. I think this page is also old. It's How I View the Gods. And this is the Charge of the Morrigan. She's my goddess. And I want to have all the, or as many Celtic gods and goddesses in my Book of Shadows as I can find. This is the letter A. And here's the letter B. And this is how I start. I use pencil first, and then I go over it with fountain pen. I haven't finished, not by a long shot, but I wanted to do something. I didn't feel like doing continue with it yet. My book is postbound, so I can start many different things and continue however I feel like it. So this is spell definitions. I colored this in with watercolor, spell ingredients, and I don't know what happened there. It's not blood, I think it's watercolor, but I'm not sure. Could be wax. And spell binding, and this comes from, I think, Mind, Body and Spirit. And this is a stamp, and this is a sticker. Candle spells and the colors. And I still need to finish this. Here's another bit of Mind, Body and Spirit. Don't know if you can see it, but this says Deosil Widdershins. Phases of the moon. This is an old page. The elements. My attempt at scrapbooking. So I got this. You can flap it open. And it says has the correspondences. I decided to, or I wanted to have the C in the colors that I think the element corresponds with. Some stamps, air with the correspondences, and a nice stamp of a little fairy. Oopsies. Can't really do it one-handed. Fire with the correspondences, and a nice Celtic candle. And water, correspondences, and a nice little water fairy. Spirits, and this is the pentagram with the banishing and invoking pentagrams. Tools, and once again I still have to draw stuff in. Circle casting. This is also one of my favorite fonts. I think it's really pretty. And how I did all the fonts, I had a Word document and I just typed in the alphabets, upper and lower case, printed them out, put them in a folder, and if I want to use one of them, I just take it out and just draw them, draw the letters. So these are a few example circles. And this is what happens when I use a calligraphy pen. It's a bit shoddy. I'm left-handed, and I can only write with a calligraphy pen with my right hand, so it's a bit shaky. So that's why I draw letters, and I don't really use a calligraphy pen much. Crystal circle. Morgan circle, and it says Mistress of Magic Incense, and here's one of my attempts at scrapbooking again. It has the Mistress of Magic Incense recipe. Celtic circle with the ingredients and just the step-by-steps, and to take it down. Sorry if I'm a bit shaky, but I'm holding my phone with one hand and use the other one to flip the pages, of course. This is typed on the computer. I've written this in, I think, about 3 of my Book of Shadows, and I couldn't really be bothered writing it again, so I decided to just type it out, print it out, and stick it in my Book of Shadows. And this as well. And I kind of like the mixed media effect it has. So, warnings and cautions. Raising energy. This comes from Which Way magazine. I get it every month, and I really, really like it. I think it's an excellent magazine. Here's familiars. And a spell to become closer to your cat. And this is one of my old cats with my daughter when she was a baby. She's 7 now. And these are the hairs from my 2 living cats, Merlin and Pixie. And Peppy and Paddy are my old cats. This is Paddy. He was named after my favorite whiskey when I was 16. This is a picture that comes from another one of my magazines that I get, Fairy Magazine, which is now called Enchanted Living. It's really nice. I always love getting it in the mail, whereas Which Way magazine, I get it through the email. This is Shielding for Beginners. I think it's also an old page. I haven't got around to color this in, but I will use watercolor. I also like the crinkly effect it watercolor has on pages. Forging Psychic Armor. This is a picture that I found on the internet. This is a new page, Reversal Spell, on the site where I found it on, to break the powers of a spell. It's also new. This is typed from, I think, ABC of Witchcraft. Magical alphabets, and several of them fairy runes. Theban, Futhark, Passing the River, Celestial, and of course my favorite, Elvish. Divination tool, Blessing. And I like putting the ingredients in a little stamp. Morgan Cirrus, Invocation with a divination chant. This paper comes from one of my old Book of Shadows. Morgan Divination Ritual, the Poem. Runes with the pictures from Mind, Body and Spirit. Rune meanings. And here's another one of my scrapbooking attempts, pendulums, and you can take out the pendulum board like this, and you can use it however you like. I'll just leave it out for now. Group divination all comes from Which Way magazine. Esbats, my favorite part, the festivals, Samhain. I used to get Witchbox and really loved it. I think she quit doing that. So this is all about Samhain, the Samhain pages that were in Witchbox, some of the activities you can do. Samhain Call to the Dead, which I did last Wednesday. Nice dragon that I drew from one of my coloring books. Samhain correspondences, and the calendar spread. Nice Harry Potter picture there. The song text, The Unquiet Grave. Samhain questionnaire. in here I want to put my answers of the sound questionnaire from this year, but I want to find some nice parchment paper for that. Here's Yule with the information, correspondences, 12 days of Yule, but I only got up to day 3. Still need to do the rest. Imbolc with the information I got from Witchbox, and Ostara with the Ostara correspondences. I haven't got around to do any rituals in here. Beltane with Call to the Ancestors from Witchbox, and Celtic Beltane traditions, and traditional Scottish bannocks. It's a recipe. Letha with Letha correspondences and activities for the modern witch, and the recipes of Letha incense, and the 3 major themes of Celtic Midsummer, and Midsummer traditions by country, and the Lasting Light Midsummer ritual. And we get near the end of my Book of Shadows. Fairies, some of my personal experiences with elementals, fairies, whatever you want to call them, and the fairy experience around the globe. It's from a book I have, forgot the title, but it's all about fairies, and it's really nice. I'll get the title sometime, because it's a really nice book. So this is Welsh and English, and Germanic and Nordic, and the origins of fairies with the nice stamps. Nature spirits, working with nature spirits, some sort of meditation that you can do. And this has a nice pouch where you can stuff things in. And this is the Watchers and Watchtowers. I was working on this page, it's not in its correct place, and this is a drawing that I copied from one of my coloring books. Somewhere in here is a page that my daughter did, because she is my little witch baby, and she wants a Book of Shadows as well, so she has my old green one, and she wanted to make a butterfly, but I can't really find it. Oh, this is also in here. I found some newspaper clippings of witches in old newspapers. This one is from 1953. I have loads more, and I will stick them in because I think that's funny. I can't find my daughter's butterfly. She's really proud of it. Has to be somewhere around here. Ah, there it is. Ta-da! My daughter's butterfly. I had to draw it and then she wanted to color it in. And she gave it a nice little smile. So that's my book of shadows, and I hope you like it.